Back in mid-2019, we got a very special game. A game that achieved a perfect combination of very challenging concepts and ideas and formed it into a beautiful, fun, and exciting game. This game was Splitgate. Splitgate was able to execute very challenging concepts that few games out there have achieved. With exceedingly smooth gameplay, stunning visuals, and fun game modes, Splitgate had everything it needed to not only set itself apart, but to thrive in the first-person shooter genre. Sadly, this did not happen. But why? Why did Splitgate achieve a large amount of players, but only for a very short time? In this video, I hope to answer just that. What happened to Splitgate? 2019 was a disappointing year for a lot of games. Call of Duty was going through some hard times, and Halo fans were waiting for the newest installment of the franchise, Halo Infinite. But in the midst of all these letdowns and problems, a game was released that looked like the answer to all of them. And it was. Splitgate dropped in mid-2019. This game was perfectly what everyone was looking for. It was fast-paced like the Call of Duty game, and it had a lot of influence and inspiration from the Halo series, and it even mixed in some ideas that nobody ever expected. Portals. On top of this game being incredibly smooth and fast-paced, it was only enhanced with the clever use of portals on specific surfaces, allowing players to create their own way of getting around in style and complexity. This game truly had a lot going for it, and it doesn't end there. Taking some ideas from the Halo games, Splitgate created several game modes, all of which were interesting, fun, and simply exciting, and on top of all of that, all beautifully executed. Now, even though it had all of that, the game wasn't really popular or even well known. It just wasn't. That is, until the letdowns and the other bigger games started to kick in, then the very small and not well known Splitgate became very large and very well known. The streamers and the players who were playing some of the games that started facing some hard times moved over to Splitgate because it really was the next best thing. The people watching the streamers moved with them, and the player base skyrocketed. People on all kinds of different social media platforms started uploading clips showing off cool techs and crazy moves they discovered, and this only brought more people in. It was a fact that at this point, so early 2020, was a really good time for Splitgate, and the craziness that 2020 brought only had more people playing video games. So Splitgate was unintentionally in a really good place. That is, until mid-2020 or so, when all of a sudden, the player count started dropping almost as fast as it has risen. And this brings us back to the question, why did Splitgate die? The answer to why Splitgate faded away is just as simple as the answer to why Splitgate grew popular. In fact, the answer is the same for both questions. Splitgate rose to fame very quickly. In fact, it wasn't even out yet when it achieved this top state. It was still technically in beta. That's how fast it grew. But let's go over really quickly why it got popular, or at least the main part. It achieved a massive player base really quickly because of the problems of other games. Call of Duty fans were having a rough time on their games, and Halo fans were waiting for the newest installments to launch. You see, most of the initial player base, the first wave of players that carried it to victory, all came from other games going through hard times. After they arrived, then other players, the ones who are still playing today, came along, but mostly only after the first wave. You see, not long after the first wave came through and Splitgate got its temporary fame, they left when their games got fixed, making Splitgate's player base a temporary audience. So Splitgate might have gotten a lot of players and playtime, but it was, for most people of the first wave that is, only a go-to when their favorite game is down. And when their favorite game comes back, you already know where they'll go. And this is why a game like Splitgate, with smooth and fast-paced gameplay, with fun and interesting ways to use the portal system, interesting game modes, and really cool weapon designs, faded away. Because its sudden burst of players was nothing but a bunch of people who might have enjoyed the game by all means, but only played it because their main game was down. A temporary audience. So, what do you think? Of course, there are other reasons to why Splitgate slowly faded off, but the main one was the audience. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope to be back next week with another exciting video. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. I hope you have a great day, and remember, life is short. Play great games. Even though it all had these, the game wasn't really the game really wasn't popular. That doesn't look like a... What? Since when is it spelled like that? The game wasn't popular... I swear, I can't read that. The game really wasn't popular or even well known. It just wasn't. I'm moving on. Dropping almost as fast as it had ridden. What? Why do I keep saying that? The player count started dropping almost as fast as it has risen. For games to get players and fame in the infinitely changing ocean that is interest, each must strive to set itself apart from the others. There are many ways to go about this, but one of the more common ones is to add